Hey everyone, let's get straight into this sketchbook idea. It is watercolour splashy creatures. Basically, I'm popping down some watercolour on a page, letting it dry, and then giving them some funny faces, hair, and legs and feet, and it is great fun. This is perfect for art wellness, which is what I'm all about. I'm all about having fun, entertaining that inner child of ours, and yeah, it just makes you feel better afterwards. It makes you smile, and it doesn't matter if it goes wrong. It's just a piece of art in our sketchbook. It doesn't matter. It's just time to enjoy and have a go. So I am literally just blobbing down watercolour that's really watered down. Sadly, I forgot that I wasn't actually on watercolour paper. It's in my sketchbook, so the water did sit on top of the paper a bit. It didn't really sink in very well, so there's lots of warping of the paper when I start to dry, but it's okay. It actually helped with the splatters that it sat on the surface, to be honest, because it stayed really watery to be able to do that. So yeah, I'm just going around and I'm picking colours out that I like. So I thought the first one I would do reds and orange and yellow. So I'm trying to make them make sense. Some of the colour does kind of disappear, but it's okay. I'll show you how to put that right afterwards. It disappears because we've splattered it out everywhere, so that's going to happen. So then I decide I want a little bit of blue. I think this ends up being more purple than blue, but that's fine. I mixed in blue, I think a purple and a dark blue, but the purple overrun in the end. I do like purple, so that might be why. So all I'm doing is adding lots of water to make sure there's lots for me to splat. You will need a straw for this so you can breathe through and blow all the splats out. I ended up only splatting up to the top because I thought that's the where they would be for our little monster creatures, whatever you want to call them. Sorry if my head gets in the way there. I'm just trying to lean over so I can get to it. You can see all my greys, look. That's not good. Right, so I think I've decided the blue one's done, and then I'm having to choose another colour, and I want them all to be a little bit different, so I'm going for greens. Greens isn't really one of my favourite go-to colours, but I do force myself to use it. I love it obviously in natural landscapes and things like that, but here it kind of made a bit of a blobby mess, but it does get better on the second coat. I go over them all again, you'll see. We just need that first layer to be really watery so we can make some splatters, and then we can go over the inside of the characters, our little monster creatures, as we go. So I'm just adding more water because I realise that it's not going to be splatty worth, not enough splatters. And also I try to green it up a bit because it just went like muddy brown. There we are, lots and lots of water to get it all splattered up. And just try and aim them so they go everywhere. That's all I did. That would be a tip. This isn't really a tutorial. This is just me sharing my fun sketchbook time. This isn't my serious artwork. You can also check that out on my website if you are interested in buying artwork from me. That would be amazing. Supports me to do all these videos. Please also make sure you follow, like, share, comment, and all those things if you're enjoying it. It just helps the algorithms to know to push it out to more people, as I am still very much a small account. Okay, so loading on the pinks and purples here. These are my favourite colours. These are the ones that I go to for lots of things. But as I say, I do try not to. I try to use other colours and things. So again, same method, lots of water, as much pigment as I can, not too watered down, so it's still got lots of colour in, and splatter up. Sometimes they go where you don't want it to go, as you see here, and I try and correct it, but it doesn't really work. Watercolour has a mind of its own. As long as you go in with that attitude, you'll be fine. You just can't have OCD with watercolour because it does its own thing. But luckily today is a messy paint day, and we're just having lots and lots of fun creating mess and seeing what happens. And that is partly the joy of art, I think. It's creativity for the sake of creativity. And like, I can't be in a bad mood when I'm doing this. You can't be in a bad mood. And if you were in a bad mood before you did this, you won't when you're finished, because it's just too much fun. It's too much fun. It may not be your kind of fun, well, that's fine, but for anyone that likes a bit of creativity, you'll love this one. So I decide I've done 4 big blobs, so I'm going to do some little blobs and do some mini ones. Obviously I've chosen pink. As I say, pinks and purples is my go-to. Point I've kind of dried them as best I can, and we're at the point where you can see a lot of the colours have faded, as you do expect with watercolours. By the time you've dried them, they're very faded out. So I'm coming in with virtually no water and painting in some brighter, more vibrant pigmented colour just to make them a little bit more interesting. So I'll fast forward that bit for you as well. I'm just getting the pigment out of the tray and yeah, just going over them a little bit. It's time to put in some eyes. So I'm coming in with a very small brush and a tiny amount of white, and I'm starting to layer down the eyes. You won't get the perfect white that you want on the first layer. I think I did 3 layers of eyes. You could obviously do any size eyes, any position you want, any expression you want. To give you a tip, you can go online and Google search cartoon faces or cartoon expressions, and there are loads and loads on there for you to have a look at and try out. That's what I did. I had a little look, then I came away, forgot about it, and just did it from my head of what I thought would be fun that I'd seen. So first of all, go around and do the eyes on all of them, and as I say, I do 3 layers of that, so I'll fast forward. So now we're ready for the fun bit, the bit that really makes it comical and interesting. We're going to come in and draw some facial expressions. So I'm using my microns here. They're my go-to liners. I think I've got a 0.8 and a 1, just because I need to draw in quite thick lines for their arms and legs, so that you need a 1 for that. And the 0.8 is just, I'm not sure if I think it was 0.5. And I used that for finer details on some bits, but I didn't use it much. So I'm really just, I know you can't see there because my hand's in the way. I'm terrible for getting in the way when I do these. So, but you'll see what I've drawn afterwards. A very googly face. Yeah, and so I just go on and do lots of different faces. You'll see as we go on. I outline the eyes eventually. I didn't do that to start with, so it's a little tip to outline the eyes as well. And then I think I have an idea halfway through about adding some hairstyles, so that gets added on, but I leave you to watch the rest. whenever I'm having so much fun with my sketchbook activities, I can't stop and I keep thinking, what else could I do to it? How could I make it better? It's at that point where it could go either way. I could make it worse or I could make it better. It's 50-50 chance. So I'm adding glitter glue, and why not? I love adding glitter glue to everything. I have a really good selection, and I add glitter to things in my sketchbook as much as I can, if I feel it enhances it. And I think with these it does. It is difficult to see in the picture, but it just gives the little creatures a bit of sparkle. So why not? Who doesn't like a bit of sparkle? So yeah, that's the end. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope it's given you some inspiration. Remember, this is our sketchbooks. They're just for us. They're not perfection. They're messy playtime. And I really do believe in that. I am learning to be a creative wellness coach. So this is a really fun exercise for art wellness. It's time for you to switch off and just kind of make yourself laugh, really. So get those happy hormones moving. I'll leave you to watch the rest. It's nearly done. Take care, everyone, and happy arting.